It's been too long since I did one of these, and today we're not going to be talking about the games themselves, we're going to just be looking at this irredeemable, abominable shithole of a subreddit. So someone made a thread and said, it just hit me that there was not a single black character in-game. Ho ho ho. 1,700 upvotes, 65% upvoted, so that means that 1.7k is 15% of the total votes cast, so that's 7 times 1.7 for about 10,000 votes cast on this. So there's about 6,500 fucking votes positive and about 5,000 votes down. So this is really tenuous, my god. And it's got moderator stickied comments. It's got locked. This thread has been locked by the moderators of r/totalwar. It's got 1,100 comments. That is a fuck ton of comments. It's locked and it still has 70 people looking at it at any one time, which is hilarious. This is causing an actual shitstorm. This was 1 day ago. This was about 30 hours ago. Yeah, 30 hours ago now. And it lasted for 7 hours before it got shut down. Holy fuck. People editing their comments. -24. Law, this comment was +50, gained visibility. Woke people saw it and managed to get it to -22. Exactly what I'm talking about. It hurt nobody, but you just had to make it disappear. Unavailable. Comment removed by moderator. Top comments. Please keep it civil. Yeah, this is boring. This is not the interesting stuff. And I wonder what this would have looked like about 24 hours ago, before anyone intervened. So this caused a shitstorm. We had it appear in here, getting 300. 89% unvoted, and then it got removed. And people here are talking a lot of sense. Those comments feel like AI-generated anti-woke responses. It's weird, but the blame is more on Games Workshop than CE making Total War. Out of the 60 plus characters in the game, only one was original. The rest are from old Warhammer fantasy battles, I think that means. And the one original character was very hated by the chuds, being a fairly large woman. Oh yeah, that's the... I'm embarrassed and ashamed to know this, but that's the fucking fat opera singer woman, I think. Oh yeah, that's cringy. I hate it as well. Shit is all just cringe. Warhammer's just cringe. That comment section prime with people out in the fact their fantasy world is just white people. The comment of this isn't Twitter, we don't do that here, broke me. We don't do having black people around. And there was something I saw here. Oh wait. On the one hand, I'd love to see some cool, weird Warhammer version of Wakanda. Fuck is Wakanda? Oh yeah, I remember this. Marvel superhero version of Africa shit. Warhammer version of Wakanda. But considering their past attempts, I have doubts. An interesting piece of history, Games Workshop's pygmy miniatures from the 1980s. Oh yeah, I've seen several different things along these lines. There's an Arab caricature as well, and it has flying carpets and genies and all that shit as well. It's really distasteful, not very amusing, entertaining, unimaginative, uncreative, really low-hanging fruit, not very creatively inspired or impressive. It's like a shitty version of Harry Potter. Like, see Harry Potter, I remember thinking that had its own fantasy equivalents of real life stuff and thinking it's not very impressive. But Warhammer just takes the piss. It's the most lazy, cash grab, stock, filler, just space filler shit that you can imagine. Just look at this. This is so fucking... It's not even done well. You've got the bones through the nose. You've got giant lips. You've got tiny foreheads, small cranial capacities here. Weird pot bellies. Spears. Yeah, I'd be embarrassed if I owned this shit. What the fuck is this? Who the fuck would want to own this garbage? For fuck's sake. I'd love for Games Workshop to give a second try at the Pygmy faction just because I love the idea of non-European halflings. But then I see the models again and I think some things are better left in these. It'd be pretty easy to make them not cartoonishly racist, but where's the fun in that? I wonder how soon after Zulu these guys came out. Oh, Zulu was... Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking as well. Zulu portrayed Africans as being really dignified and cultured. That was one of the themes of Zulu. It was that we just underestimate them and that they have their own culture. And there are characters there that are meant to explain that and convey that to the British soldiers. I didn't ever think that Zulu was racist or anything like that. It's a fucking good film. I watched it like 2 years ago, and it was as good then as it was when I watched it when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And then you have shit like this. See films like Zulu, that makes me think that these excuses that people have of it's just a product of its time might not have as much merit as they otherwise would, those excuses. I mean. These guys and Cathay are the top offenders when I see people point out the tropes and Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Yeah, tropes, that's it. Like, see this shit? It's just pure lazy trope. It's fucking... Like, are you going to add anything? This is the thing with Games Workshop and all the plagiarism that they do. Are you going to do anything original? Are you going to add anything? Is there going to be anything inspired or virtuous here? Any artistic merit going to be present whatsoever? Where is the artistic merit in this? What the fuck? It's almost like they just lifted the most surface level properties and put them in their own shit. What? Someone analyse this that's a fucking artist or a miniature person and tell me what the fuck this is. Alright, now we're getting on to the main thing. So 8 hours ago this got posted to gamingcirclejerk. 6,000 upvotes. Oof, and it's flying. It is fucking flying. 6,200 upvotes. And I refreshed this like 10 minutes ago and it had 5,800, so it's really picking up fucking steam. Good morning, I accidentally blew up r/totalwar. The shithole subreddit that I've always claimed is just full of fucking fat virgin incel cunts and got pushed back against. Like, I remember I said that I was getting fucking swastikas spammed at me and I was getting people DMing me with fucking the N-word on Twitter all the fucking time. I would say it, but I think this video would get fucking... the algorithm would catch it and I would get flagged. And it would get demonetized or whatever the fuck, or age-gated, so I'm not going to say it. But I would get that for months when I first started shitting on Warhammer and saying, alright, this Warhammer is fucking shit, let's be honest, it's fucking shitty and it's fucking cringy, why the fuck is this attached to Total War? Fuck off. And I had Warhammer fanboy loser cunts fucking spamming me with fucking swastikas and saying the N-word in my fucking Twitter DMs, all this stupid shit. I was playing Men of War, right? I had like 5 people in my Discord and we were playing Men of War. And then this out of nowhere, this fucking guy joins the voice chat and he starts trying to pick a fight with me, but I'm just sitting there saying, is that the best you've got? Is that it? Is that all you could muster? This is shite. And he was lip smacking as well. Like, it's like he was sitting there having a panic attack while he was trying to argue with me. Like, he was picking the fight with me and he was the one that was fucking sweating and shitting himself. And you could actually hear him lip smacking with cotton mouth between his fucking sentences. Like, his mouth was so fucking dry and he was so fucking scared. It was so pathetic. Like, you can tell this guy came off of 4chan and is just a complete dysfunctional fucking loser. So he comes in there and he starts trying to pick a fight with me and then he starts slurring and lip smacking and then he just starts saying the N-word over and over and over again. Like, these people are fucking absolute losers, man. Like, the scum of Western civilization. These are fat guys, pasty, fat, neck-bearded fucking trailer trash shite. Probably mostly American. Oh yeah, that guy was American. Like, the most pasty sounding fucking unimposing American fucking cunts, and they are the ones that latch onto this shit. Like, my god, they're pathetic. And do you want to hear the best part? I had the entire fucking interaction recorded and I'll have it forever. And this guy's obviously dealt with the exact same thing. Like, he makes this fucking... Oh my god, I just saw fucking talking like orcs. Was? Did I see was? Like, this is so fucking cringe. Fuck you. Fucking cringe. Ugh. My god. So that guy posts this. It just hit me there's not a single black character in game. He posts that. It gets 1,000 comments, 1,700 upvotes, and then it gets this. He gets this in his fucking DMs. Please eat a bullet, cuck. Warhammer's a white men's hobby. 200 people here. We need a faction with some real African American culture. Dreadlocks, can't speak proper English, used to be called Ebonics, and all of them kill each other over shoes and small amounts of money. Hey, just wanted to show you this Warhammer lore gem I stumbled on. Ape men. And then this guy says this in DMs to him. So that's 4 examples he got in his DMs, presumably. 6,200 upvotes exposing the shithole subreddit r/totalwar. Previously the subreddit of a real-time tactics / turn-based strategy franchise, showing it up as being full of fat fucking losers, fucking absolute creeps. Just wanted to ask a harmless question. I had no nefarious motives at all. The realisation just hit me and I was curious whether I was the only one who hadn't realised before. Was not prepared for this to turn into my first shitstorm, or my first death threat, for that matter. Death threats for saying that. Holy shit. Fucking get a life. Get a grip and get a fucking life. Imagine your life just being this shitty hobby. That's your whole fucking life. Imagine when you've just been receded, the walls have closed in around you so hard that all you've got is this shitty Warhammer pish. That's your entire fucking life. And it's an existential threat when people post this on a fucking shithole of a subreddit. Fucking losers. Fucking scumbags. My god, sort yourselves out. Do what fucking Jordan Peterson has already told you to do 100 times. Clean your fucking room, get a fucking life. Holy shit, man. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Hope you're right. It's fascism 101 to romanticise a past you don't understand and didn't really exist. Yeah, what's his name? Umberto Eco. So yeah, strategy gamers and Ren fairies. What's a Ren fairy and shit do attract that type? In my experience, Total War community on Reddit is pretty cool though. Nah. Couple of times. Oh yeah, and this is the thing. I had fucking absolute stalker weirdos on the shithole subreddit for the past 2 years. Every now and then, I'll be accused of racism or something, or fascism, even though I'm the complete opposite of that ideologically. Like, fascism is my ideological enemy. They're so fucking confused. They accuse me of that, and they're the ones that are sitting on a fucking piss-soaked subreddit. Ren fairies. I'm not going to Google that, I don't even care. I think it's not about role-playing as a Nazi, but about role-playing as a country. Fascists tend to personify countries. Yeah, you even see that tendency nowadays with fucking Putin this, Putin that. As if you could just kill Putin and then everything would be fixed or changed. As if it would change anything, really. Which many strategy games also do through the game mechanics. I got to say though, overall most of the Total War community is quite cool. The chuds are all being downvoted to hell usually, which is probably why they resort to PMs. Actually, that's a recent thing. That guy observed there that he wasn't being downvoted initially. It's only once the subreddit has been brigaded by all of these other fucking places that happens. Fortunately, Total War Warhammer has the unholy storm of chud crossovers. Warhammer fantasy chuds who left after Age of Sigmar, and strategy game chuds, just a shit show all around. And then there's shit that's just downvoted everywhere or hidden away. Like, look, +5 karma, and you have to expand it. What the fuck's going on there? It's always the bad kind of hilarious when you spot them from a mile away and then they unironically pull out their deathcore army that's covered in either thinly veiled or outright Nazi imagery, and repeatedly either intentionally call them Kriegers, Kriegkorps, or accidentally let it slip. It's true, I love Warhammer and the Total War Warhammer games, but holy shit, they're full of chuds, fascists, sexists, and racists. It makes me ashamed to even say I enjoy that stuff half the time. Yep, they hate anything left wing. They hate communism and socialism. They hate women, and they hate minorities. That's it, and they themselves are one of the most pasty, unhealthy, deprived minorities. Fat virgin white guys. Warhammer fans are pretty toxic, but this is surprising to me, not so much in hindsight. Combine a universe like Warhammer with a game franchise mostly based on history and war tactics, and you get quite a few of these bastards. I'm not surprised at all. I've had people on r/Total War insist to me that the pygmies weren't racist because they aren't intended to be a depiction of black people. While simultaneously telling me that Games Workshop had no choice but to give them fat red lips and other features common in racial caricatures because final details weren't possible at the time, so if they wanted the models to have fat red lips they needed to make them ridiculously big. No answer on why they needed to have fat red lips to begin with. Yeah, it's blackface. Like hardcore 19th century style racist, was someone at Games Workshop a white supremacist or something? Man. There's so much. This is a massive rabbit hole, I can tell. There's obviously a lot of history there. Araby. Yeah, this is the one that I remember noticing and thinking, wow, this is really scraping the fucking bottom of the barrel here with all of this magic carpet bullshit. Araby is an awful name for an empire in Total War. CA doesn't have the rights to rework it. You're going to have to ask Games Workshop to do that themselves. CA can't invent anything for setting without Games Workshop's approval. Cathay, Nippon, and Indie Warhammer naming sense is whack. Ind? It's not Indie, it's Ind. What the fuck? I get the feeling neither CA nor Games Workshop want to touch Araby for some time for fear that they won't get it right, or if they do a bunch of chuds will tell people about the old stuff. Wow, skeletons in the closet, hilarious. I really like the game, but I don't feel like browsing the subreddit anymore. I do not want to share space with racists and other trash. It's funny watching the people on the shithole subreddit talk about me. There's like 5 or 6 people that are just really dedicated fucking weirdos that have been stalking me and just name drop me at every opportunity. Name drop me, name drop my subreddit. And they have the most fucking spergy, butthurt style of writing about me when they're the ones that are sitting in the midst of a pure fucking piss hole of fucking cretins. Like, we're the ones that want to play good games and that have our fucking heads on straight, and they're the ones that are fucking just complete scum of civilization. Complete fucking loser degenerates. Fucking degens. Motherfuckers will literally call you the N-word and then deny that they're racist. It only has power because you give it some, so this is your fault, really. Also, I saw someone say here about fantasy, how they use fantasy as an excuse. It's such a fucking cop-out, cuck-out excuse. They say that the games don't have to be good because of fantasy, and they use the word realistic. It's fantasy, it doesn't have to be realistic, even though no one ever talks about fucking realism. We're talking about meaningful, good depiction, which is completely separate from realism. So they use the fantasy excuse there, and there are a lot of good YouTube videos on that excuse. Before you even have Warhammer Total War games, like, people were making video essays and stuff on the fantasy excuse, the cop-out, and then now you have this excuse being applied to this fucking racism bullshit, right-wing shit. It's just the same thing again. It's a cop-out, a thought-terminating cliche. Fantasy, fantasy, fantasy. Every single time you see the word fucking fantasy brought up now, it's just a thought-terminating cliche, mental crutch for dumb motherfuckers. It's exactly the same shit every time. It's because fascists and religious conservativists lack the brains to recognise satire, so they take it at face value. Like The Boys satirising the far right, or Watchmen. Games Workshop have had to explicitly say in open letter to the community that Warhammer's satire and fascism is actually bad in real life. Guess not all fascists can read though. Game Workshop reminding everyone that 40k satire has become almost a yearly tradition. Fucking embarrassing. Imagine your business model relying on sucking money out of this shit. My god. It must be like being a fucking cigarette company and knowing that you're selling cancer to people that don't care. Man, I could really just sit reading this all day. This is hilarious. People would push back against me when I would claim this. I remember when I first started dealing with this, I would point out this right wing, fascist, racist, chud element of fucking Total War that I fucking picked up on immediately. I came out the gates fucking firing on all cylinders at that shit when I first started critiquing. And people would just try and gaslight me and say, "No, you're imagining it. It's a tiny minority. It's not a problem. It's not. It's not a real issue. You're just making this up. You're trying to make connections that are not there." Look at who's fucking laughing now. Holy shit! Fucking shithole subreddit itself just blown right open and exposed. Fuck you, dumb cunts. Fucking proved wrong yet again. Fucking liars, bullshitters, gaslighters. Fuck off. Warhammer fans understanding that it's meant to satirise fascist regimes challenge. Impossible. I actually like Warhammer, but both fantasy and 40k just seem to attract some really awful people sometimes. Hordes of tiny rats with poor grammar, cool and good. Fat dudes with tummy magic, cool and good. What the fuck? Giant man-eating crocodile people, cool and good. The evil sex faction, which one, please be more specific? The faction that's all about barfing and illness, one of the units literally attacks with diarrhea, cool and good. No, it's cringe. Magic mythical creatures in a world full of really ridiculous incredible events and people, cool and good. A single person with visible dark skin, maybe just like one, please. Any sort of representation for a massive chunk of the human population of the world. Absolutely world ruining. The SJWs are destroying Warhammer. The game must remain exactly unchanged and not move with the times or try to draw in a wider audience. And that's the funny thing. Drawing in a wider audience is something that I've been shitting on so fucking much. And they've been dying on that hill all the fucking time. My sales, player numbers, look at all of these sales though for Warhammer. It's never sold better. And then they have this opportunity for it to sell even better by including minorities and marketing to all of these other demographics. And they spurg out. Fucking wimps. Do you want your shitty fucking IP to persist or not? That's what broke me too. My post is so harmless. I'm really shook by this. I didn't see it coming at all. Can't imagine what people who are POCs themselves or have stronger opinions have to go through. 30 anonymous shitbags shitting in your DMs is enough to ruin your day. I don't want to know how it feels when it's worse than this. 30 anonymous shitbags shitting in your DMs. My god, I've had way worse than that, and it didn't bother me one fucking iota. But I can imagine if you're not used to it. And they know it, that's why they do it. I don't really get any DM bullshit anymore at this point, because it's quite obvious that it doesn't bother me one fucking bit. In fact, I usually document it or post about it and laugh at it and use it to make my arguments, like I'm doing right now. Like he did. Notice how he didn't just let it sit in his fucking DMs unseen, not getting the light of day. He fucking published this shit, and now we can laugh at this, all of us together. That's what everyone should do. And I don't know why he blacked out the names as well. He should have left them visible. Wall of shame, name and shame. Well, I just started getting into Warhammer. Didn't know the community was this bad. Oh, screenshot. That's going to be the thumbnail. I think the community's improving. Since the Warhammer universe is becoming more and more popular, it brings various people. But it's true there's an appalling part of the community which hopefully will be diluted. Don't worry, those are Total War fans. They're a lot worse than tabletop fans in my opinion. Holy shit. Tabletop requires you to actually go outside and interact with people. Holy shit, that's a good point. And I was thinking about this. Like, I've started just acknowledging these Warhammer fanboy fucking 4chan cunts as just being terminally online fat incels. And this is a good point. Like, see with Warhammer Total War, you have a video game, which means you can just sit in your fucking smelly room all day. You have Warhammer, which attracts all of this scum, and then you put it both together, and you have the most fucking spergy, fat, chair-locked dipshits that get to congregate, and the way that the places they congregate as well, like fucking 4chan, Reddit, where else, Discord, like all of these places allow them to just fucking perpetuate their fucking stink, and what you get is, I don't know, it pretty much is just like the scum of Western civilization, I would say. Complete degenerates. How do you get any lower than this? Like actual fucking pedos or something? Child molesters? Like what is worse than fucking these extreme right-wing, spergy, fat fucks that are obsessed with this fucking hobby enough to do this kind of stuff? Like imagine what these fucking people smell like. Is it wrong I laughed when I saw active in r/crack support? Yeah, this is what I thought as well. I thought it was about fucking recovering crack addicts or something. But it's just piracy. Certified gamer moment. Subhuman scum in your DMs. Yeah, like fucking absolute intermensch, to use one of their terms. Overwatch has one of the least racist, misogynistic, homophobic communities I've ever seen. It's still pretty bad. Total War plus Warhammer, two big hubs of racism. Strategy games bring competitive racism to the next level. War games and racism, symbiotic relationship. Yeah, I'd like to see some work done to examine this. Any fandom associated with war is heavily populated by conservatives. The world would be a much safer and happier place if there were no conservatives. Yep. Don't censor their names, report them to Reddit. It's not complicated, but look it up and do it. Yep. Wow, what the fuck is this website? And there's the disclaimer from Games Workshop. I like the Warhammer franchise, but I can't talk about it with people because holy fuck does it attract the racists and fascists for some reason. It isn't being a cuck a white man's hobby, lol. Frankly, Games Workshop and a significant portion of their customer base don't want people like me to be represented in the world, at least not in any significant way. I want to be disappointed, but I can't be bothered anymore. There are far better works out there that actually give a shit. Interesting. I'll never not be confused why there's so many Nazis and racists in the Warhammer community. I can't speak for Fantasy Age of Sigmar, but 40,000 is the least subtle political satire about Nazis. Warhammer in both editions have strong fascist overtones, 40k starting off as satire at least. Comes down to the brains literally unable to process satire. Yeah, this is how I interpreted it as well. Like, they rely on the part of the brain responsible for fear more than normal people. Oh my god. Holy shit. And it pretty much prevents them from ever developing the empathy required to understand satire. Imagine going through life and only taking things at face value no matter what. Like, you see someone laughing so hard they're crying, but you only interpret it as them being sad because they're crying. A big part of that might just be the fucking autism. Like, a lot of them are probably... I'd say, like, half of these people are severely autistic. Like, they are really on the spectrum. And it's the bad kind of people on the spectrum. Like, this is also what happens with Kiwi farms, where you have all of these people that are maladaptive autists that congregate around something and they don't deal with it in a way that's all sensible. It's the same kind of thing as that, I think. You have allies in Sigmarxism. Sounds like the Warhammer fandom, unfortunately. Welcome. Alright, let's see if I can find my comment, because as you can imagine, I've been fucking laughing my ass off at this. 6,800 karma, holy shit, it really is flying. Let's see if I can find mine. Why are these getting contracted? I posted here about an hour ago. The shittiest fandom on the planet is Warhammer fanboys. Fat virgins with mental illnesses make up something like half of the consumer base. Scum of the earth that Total War sold out to. And that subreddit is the epicenter of it. Complete losers. And that sums it up pretty much. I said that before I decided to make this video on this, because this was just so fucking funny. I started reading the comments here, and this conversation about Warhammer and fucking chuds clearly was fully underway here. So look at this, look at all of this, what is going on here with this, look at all of this contraction. The fuck's going on? How is this all contracted? Why are you hiding their names? Name them. The Warhammer fandom likes to think they collect figurines, but in reality they collect chromosomes. Oh man. Yep. I stayed away from Warhammer for like fucking 20 years. Because I first heard of it when I was like 12 or 14 or something and thought it was fucking shite. Like, I remember there was this kid that kept going on and on about it, and I wanted to just get away from him. And then I forget about Warhammer for the rest of my life. But then this fucking Total War Warhammer crossover threw it right back in my fucking face and proved that my 12-year-old self was fucking right to think this is fucking shite. Fuck Warhammer at this point, I just say it every time. Fuck Warhammer, fuck off, fucking sick of it. And it seems like other people are getting sick of it as well. And fuck Total War for attaching itself to it for fucking nearly a decade as well. Fuck Total War now. Fuck off Total War.